It's been a disaster of a season so far for Rangers. As for Celtic, they've had a pretty poor transfer window and a pretty poor result against Kira Almaty. So here today, this afternoon, whatever you want to call it, man, we're going to head over to the Scottish Sun and hear what Chris Boyd's got to say regarding both clubs. Well, in Rangers' case, Russell Martin, and in Celtic's case, it's to do with signings. Now, fun fact, Chris Boyd has a Scottish Sun gossip column. It's the Sun Club, right? Listen to this for a real laugh before we get into this guy's comments. So, they've got a summer sale on the minute for the Scottish Sun Club, and it's only £1 for 3 months, then it's £1.99 thereafter. Now, I don't know what this gives you other than Chris Boyd, but I'm sorry, man. If you're paying £1 or £2 a month for the Scottish Sun Club, I think that's embarrassing. Now, I'm not too sure if... I mean, I'm looking online here, right? But I'm pretty sure maybe you actually buy the paper, you actually get Chris Boyd's full opinion on it. But for right here, right now, we've got a very limited version of what he had to say. But this is what he had to say regarding Rangers, and that's what we'll begin with. Because, folks, honestly, if you're listening to this video, right, and you've got a Sun Club membership, leave it down below. Something tells me, though, there will not be anybody with a Sun Club membership. That's what he had to say. I can't understand why Russell Martin thinks he knows better than Pep Guardiola or Walter Smith. He must adapt to survive. Sun Sport columnist Chris Boyd thinks Russell Martin needs to stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Now, that is a pretty big headline. Russell Martin does appear to think he knows better than the greatest managers we've seen. And it's not going to work. Now, he did come out and say in his press conference that they need to tweak tactics, and they will. Well, he didn't say they need to tweak tactics, but he will say they will tweak tactics in games, and he alluded to that. Which I guess you could say is actually a massive step in the right direction, because I feel like for far too long, he's kind of said, I mean, even after the Bruges game, he said that, I give them a game plan before the game, and they hopefully see it out, but we didn't actually get to see him attempt it until the second half. But he's right. It's like the best managers, right, can adapt, right, and that's exactly what the headline is here. He must adapt to survive, and just looking at this from a Rangers perspective, it's like, what are we playing at, man? Right? Seriously unacceptable to just continue to play the same style of play that's not working, right? And I mean, a decent bit of it will be down to the fact that we don't have the personnel, but at the same time, the board have spent over 20 million, right? And whether or not every single one of them is a Russell Martin signing, or half of them are Russell Martin signings, or none of them are Russell Martin signings, mate, Martin's getting paid a hell of a lot of money to come in to one of the biggest football clubs in the world to get things ticking and to get things right. And he's done a shite job at it. So, maybe this window will slam shut and he thinks he doesn't have the personnel. He's got to make it work regardless, man. And that's what Boyd's on about. He needs to adapt to survive, because that's what the best managers do. They make shift with they sort it out, man. I mean, Man City weren't exactly great when Pep Guardiola came in. I mean, look at Walter Smith with Paul Le Guen. He sorted that fucking mess out. Russell Martin is actually getting backed here by the 49ers. First manager to be back since Beale, and then these are like the only two that have actually been given a lot of money. So, and you know what, you can say with Beale, the reason he got backed is because it was like a direct continuation after, you know, a Europa League run, Champions League money the year before. Why is Martin getting backed? Because it looks like the 49ers are putting money in. So I hope it's not. I touched on this in my fidelity, last night. I hope it's not a case of Russell Martin's getting a lot of money here, and if he gets sacked, the next guy's getting fucking tanned. That would be no right in my opinion, but he needs to stop trying to pretend that he's reinventing the wheel, because Scottish football, it's a lot simpler than what Russell Martin thinks, but this guy's been brought in, he's overcomplicated it, and it's honestly not going to work, man. It's even like shortcomings like no just bringing in Josh Mulligan for me. Like, to me, that guy should have just been getting brought in, but No, I mean, again, is that on Russell Martin? Who knows? But the fact of the matter is this, guys, there's no excuses for not beating Dundee and Motherwell, alright? And putting Alloa to the sword more comfortably. That's on Martin. And I'm not hearing any talk about, well, I need to sign this and we need to bed them in and get used to each other and talk to each other. No. Anyway, that's it for Rangers. What did he have to say regarding Celtic? He said, Celtic fans are demanding signings, but has Brendan Rodgers shown he can be trusted to spend big again? Arnie Engels, Adam Ida and Austin Trusty haven't pulled up trees since signing for Celtic. End of quote. Here, that could be a valid point from Chris Boyd. Arnie Engels, right, appears to be fourth choice midfielder for Celtic right now, behind Nygren, McGregor and Atai. It's not a good look when your £11 million signing looks fourth choice. Especially, I mean, it's not quite as bad in the midfield because, like, if you're a fourth choice keeper or left back, you're fucked. You're not getting any games. At least when you're the fourth choice midfielder, you're going to be coming on every game more or less. But for 11 million in this league, 11 million in this league spending it is like in England spending like 150 million or something, 100 million, and then no starting. Crazy. As for Adam Ida, that ship has sailed. At least with Engels, I think you can still do something with Engels. Adam Ida, no looking good for him. Now, Rodgers has come out and said that he is carrying some form of knee injury. Who knows how that's going to play out, but it's not like last season when he didn't have an injury. He was fantastic, so who knows. And as for Trusty, yeah, I mean, Trusty's a guy they spent $6 million on, and Liam Scales and Carter Vickers are trusted over him, so I mean, you're looking at the best part here, like 26, 27 million that Celtic have spent, and not one of them can start, apart from Ida, who no one wants to start. So I kind of agree with Boyd. Can Rodgers be trusted to spend big again? Because, honestly, man, I feel like, who was the last player Celtic signed? I feel like in Ange's first 2 seasons, man, I feel like everyone they signed was great. And then it was like, oh, he's not great. But Celtic's players that they have actually brought in under Brendan Rodgers, not many of them have gone straight into the team and became starters, man, and actually look good. Now, Nygren and Tierney are straight in. Schmeichel for last season. But there's been a lot of shite signed in there. So maybe Boyd's on to something about him not being able to be trusted. Anyway, folks, that's where we're going to leave it. This video will probably get uploaded about 12, so yeah, a lot of games at 3 o'clock. I mean, obviously, if you got postponed today due to European commitments and all that good stuff, but we'll be back later on with a reaction. Who'll be top? Will it be Celtic Hearts? Could it be Livy? Who knows? We'll be there for it though.